it's Mia. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I have a tutorial for you guys. I'm really excited. Today, I'm going to be showing you guys how to clean and prep your roses and also how to shape your roses in your standard circle bouquet. So for this video, I'm going over all the supplies that you're going to need. So for our prepping and cleaning, you're going to need your shears. These ones that I'm showing you, I got them from Home Goods. They're pretty hefty duty ones. I definitely recommend getting some hefty duty ones and not like the cheap ones. I will give you guys a couple of examples on my Amazon storefront, which will be linked in my description. And then you're going to also need your thorn removers. Now I have two here that I'll be showing you guys how to use. Me personally, the pink one is my favorite one, but I'm also going to be showing you guys how to use the green plastic one as well, or silicone one actually. So these are the two thorn removers. So if you have any of these, I will be showing you guys how to use both. Again, my Amazon storefront will be linked down below so that if you guys are in need of some flower supplies, you don't know where to look, I will have a whole Amazon storefront linked with everything that you guys will need to start your floral journey. Now let's actually get into prepping. So you're going to want to grab your roses. We have to clean and prep our roses before we shape them, okay? This is very, very important. A lot of times people just buy the flowers and get straight to shaping. We have to clean them. So first things first is removing the leaves, okay? Now I have a lot of different ways I'll remove the leaves. I'll sometimes use my hands. Sometimes I will use the thorn remover, but you want to start off with plucking off the petals. The reason for this is so that we are making sure the petals are nice and clean. The actual rose head looks nice and clean. So typically you are removing dead petals, petals that are bruised, or any guard petals. So a guard petal example would be like a pink rose that has green guard petals. You want to remove all the green ones. But sometimes you might come across bruised roses as well, which you guys will see in this video of just some petals that are bruised. Now, when it comes to our thorns, we want to remove those as well. We don't want to be giving a bouquet to someone and then they're injuring themselves because they done stabbed themselves with the thorns. So we got to remove them. So with this silicone S type remover, this is what I used in my very beginning stages as a florist. I used this one for a really long time, which is why you can see some of the pieces are missing off of it. It's not my favorite, but it does get the job done. So this is how you're going to hold it. You're going to use your hand and then just pull down. So you're going to see me in the video. I'm going to pull down really hard, but not too hard that you break the stem or break the rose. You don't want to do that. So that's how you can kind of see. And then I'm going to show you guys close up how it removes the thorns. Now it doesn't fully remove them, but it definitely takes away that super pointiness on that thorn so that it's not injuring anyone. Now, if we're using this thorn remover, which this one's my personal favorite, this one is the same concept. You're going to hold it the very same way and you're going to pull down, but this one kind of cleans the roses a lot more. So as you can see close up, it actually removes the thorns completely. It takes the leaves off completely, and now you have a clean stem. So it's really up to you which one you want to use, but that is why I just wanted to show you guys both. And then this is just an example as well of me just kind of cleaning up the petals a little bit. So I'm just kind of cleaning them up a little bit, and then now you have a nice clean rose and you're ready to use it to shape. I also leave a little bit of leaves at the top. I see a lot of florists take all the leaves off. I leave a little bit of leaves on there because, for one, if the customer is going to take their bouquet apart and put it in a vase, the vase should not look overly too skinny where there's no leaves. So you want to leave a little bit of leaves, but not too many, because if the leaves are at the very bottom and then you have the leaves inside of the vase water, it makes the water dirty and then the flowers will die faster. So I also think leaving a little bit of leaves on the roses kind of helps with keeping the structure of the bouquet as well, because without the leaves, then I feel like it's easier for the roses to bend, snap, and break. So just FYI. Now here I'm showing you guys why it's important to trim the rose stems. Now this is super, super important. You don't have to trim a lot, but you definitely want to trim it. So if the bottom of the rose where where I was showing you guys is super brown, that means the rose is having a really hard time drinking the water, so you need to trim the stems. I always tell people to cut the stems, trim the stems every like 3 to 4 days, just so that the roses are being able to hydrate themselves. But that's really important that you are trimming those stems. So for the rest of this video, I'm just kind of showing you guys me cleaning the roses. Here is an example of me just using my hands to clean the roses and not using a thorn remover. So I'm just literally taking off the thorns with my hands. It's super easy, and then just going in and just cleaning up those petals. If you guys were watching earlier, then I showed like an example of like a bruised petal, so you want to make sure that you're just taking all that off, and then you are fully cleaning your roses. So very, very important. You want to make sure that you're doing this before you're shaping. These are what my roses look like now that they are all prepped and clean. We have a great group of flowers to work with. You can even see how the rose heads all look nice and clean. There's no bruises, there's no guard petals. They just look really nice, clean and pretty and ready to go. So now it's time to actually start shaping. So when it comes down to shaping, I personally use tape. I am not a rubber band girly. The only time I use rubber bands to shape is if I'm using like tulips, but I am mainly using tape. Again, I will have my Amazon storefront down below so that you guys can shop some supplies, but I do get my tape from Amazon. So what we're gonna do when we're shaping, I like to start off with 3 roses. I know some people like to use a mirror. I like to use a table to actually shape. This is great for my beginners if you are learning to shape for the first time. So start off with 3 roses, and you're gonna put your first 2 together. You're gonna use that table as like your guide, and you're gonna put them together. If you need to move them around and make sure that they're nice and snug together, you can do so. But you're gonna start off with your 2, put them closely together, and then you're gonna grab your 3rd rose and you're gonna lay it right on top. And that is gonna be like your starter to your like circle shape. If you need to like put them closer together or whatever, make sure you do so that they are nice and tight. And then you're going to go ahead and go around with the tape. Now with the tape, you're going to want to tape from the middle to the end. You do not want to tape too high, because if you tape too high, it can cause the roses to break. So make sure you're being careful. Do not tape too high. As you start to go around, you should be lowering the tape as you go. So those are my 3. As you can see, I got them as close as I could as possible, but as we start to add more roses around, it will get tighter and tighter. But this is going to be your guide. So now that you have your 3, you can still lay it down flatly on the table and just take your additional roses and really start to go around to make your circle shape. Make sure that you have that tape close by. I typically don't even remove the tape until I'm fully done with the shaping. It just makes it super easy this way. But as you can see, I'm adding the rose, going around with the tape, and then kind of like rotating the bouquet. So rotate, add, tape, rotate, add, tape. And that is how you're going to get your circle shape. Now, if it looks like this is okay. This is just your foundation. It's okay if it's not fully a circle yet. Again, the more you add your roses, the more you can move things around, the more you'll be able to start to see that circle shape come together. So here I am just grabbing some more roses, and I'm doing the same method. I'm laying it on top, and then I'm going in with my tape. And then I will rotate and rotate around all the way until we have our full circle shape. All right, and that is how you guys prep and shape your flower bouquet. Here is just an example of how you can kind of move the roses around. If you are, if your circle is not like a good circle or whatever, you can kind of just shift those roses around. And don't forget to make sure that you trim the stems so that the stems are all even. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.